천사의 산업을과 지상의 산업을 특정 시간에서 시청대와 수로 공주, 후진들과 서쪽과 편집들, 출생 공천을 일본으로 비롯해 모든 전국 사회에 함께 해원과 주생 축복을 통해 고대
Good morning.
Good morning, Masako-san. Good morning, Chori.
Hi, good morning.
Nice to see you. Thank you.
Nice to see you too. You know, see if I can open this screen.
I did a speaker test and
Yeah. Because sometimes we hear them that way.
May come, hiding his face, hiding the smile of my God. Though clouds may come, still he is there, shining brightly. God is love. I'll give my life and my love unto the one God of love. Amid the storm, tossed on the sea, beacon of hope, guiding me. Amid the storm,
Good morning, everyone. Buenos dias a todos. Today, we're coming to you from the beautiful island of Barbados. Wonderful brothers and sisters here. Today is session 819. So I'd like to greet and welcome everyone, all of our leaders, the blessed families, and all of our brothers and sisters who are joining Handa K this morning, especially those who are joining us for the first time. Very happy to see you. Thank you for coming. And now please join me with the reading of the opening statement. Today, on the 18th day in the 7th month of the heavenly calendar, in the 11th year of Chinaguk, September 2nd, 2023, on the daily morning Handa K session 820, we offer our determination and resolution to restore the nation and our region through witnessing, united as a hopeful unity. Now let's greet our two parents. Chunjien Chambonem Nim K Kembe. Baro. Now please join me in reading family pledge number 4. Our family, the owner of Chinaguk, pledges to build the universal family encompassing heaven and earth, which is the Heavenly Parent's ideal of creation, and perfect a world of freedom, peace, unity, and happiness by centering on true love. Thank you. And now I'm very happy to introduce our wonderful sister, Mrs. Masako Phillips, to offer our opening prayer this morning. Masako.
Oh, she has to unmute.
Good morning.
Morning.
Okay. Our most beloved Heavenly Parent, good morning, and precious true parents, good morning. we want to welcome you to us. Thank you for giving us lives. Without your love and forgiveness, we could not be here. Thank you so much, your love, because you love us so dearly and deeply. You have set us true parents. Thank you for father and true mother. They gave us life. They showed us the way we live. Thank you. Heavenly Parent, in this new day, we want to open our hearts and mind to listen and understand your desire, your will to each one of us. When we look at this world is surely chaos. There are so many people do not know how to live every day. Heavenly Parent and true parents already showed us how we should live. So we ask your guidance every day so that when we live every daily life, we may live together with you and together with our true parents. Hey parent, please forgive us. We've been so ignorant and we've been so arrogant not asking your guidance. But I would humbly ask your guidance and forgetting about the own thing, but we would like to hear your voice. We would like to go together with you and together with True Mother. Thank you, True Mother, standing strongly front line. Heavenly Parent, please give her strength and good health. And please guide each brothers and sisters and leaders in this day. I report all these things in my name, Reverend Peter Phillips, Masako Phillips, Breast Center Family. Adieu.
Thank you, Masako, for your prayer this morning. And now, it's my honor to introduce our wonderful sister, Cheryl Hamshaw, who will be reading from Chembo Gyum this morning. So thank you, Cheryl. Welcome.
Thank you, Gary. Good morning, brothers and sisters. This morning, please join me in reading. So we continue reading from the Champion Manual, Chapter 3, True Fathers, Childhood, and Youth. Section 1, Love for Nature. Lessons from Nature. True Father spent about 18 years of his life within about 10 kilometers of his birthplace. That area was the stage of his activities until he graduated from primary school. This was an important time in his life when he learned about nature and had many realizations from observing and experiencing it. As he studied nature, he showed unusual interest, inquisitiveness, and passion for learning. Numerous experiences with the world of nature and his agricultural surroundings nurtured his emotional sensitivity and depth. As he observed the love of birds and insects for their young, He verified the principles of human love. All things in nature became his friends, and they also became his textbooks of heart and love. As we grow up, our hometown provides us with abundant opportunities for learning and emotional growth. Just by looking at the mountains, we realize the other direction. We are at where we started. Hello? Okay. That they are enveloped by a huge net of heart. It is unforgettable. It is the same for a creek with the variety of fish and insects that live there. We can grow when we utilize all of the creation as our basic textbooks, from which we can learn and gain knowledge that we never forget. We can learn from all the animals and plants in the mountains, and indeed every single thing in the natural world. What we find in our hometown provides us with abundant materials to help us learn and grow internally in heart and feeling. That is why we miss the mountains, fields, and rivers of our hometown. When I was a child, I went everywhere in my village, the neighboring villages, the mountains, and over the mountains, with the thought to go and see everything throughout the land. That is how I was in my childhood. I went to a reservoir and caught different kinds of fish that lived there. I caught all kinds of birds. I caught all kinds of insects. There was nothing there that I did not catch. That is how I became knowledgeable about the things around me. I knew where the crabs lived, where the different species of fish lived, what animals lived where, and so on. Having discovered and investigated all their dens and nests, I knew very well what creatures lived in each place. That is why I knew the best fishing spots. I did not spend much time in the fields. Every day, I roamed throughout the mountains. In the mountains, there are all kinds of flowers, all kinds of birds, and all kinds of wild animals. Everything is there. It is like a natural museum. Human beings have learned how to make many things by imitating nature. We have to love nature. On the night of a full moon, I never wanted to stay home and sleep. There's something mystical about the night of a full moon. On such nights, I would go into the pine forest, deep in the mountains, and sleep where the wolves and tigers live. I would lie down on a bed of pine needles underneath a huge pine tree, where weeds do not grow and where you do not get wet, even when it rains. You cannot imagine what a marvelous feeling it was to sleep there. When you go to such a place and see the bright moon, even the blowing breeze will sound mystical to you. And when a tall tree shakes in the wind, it will reflect all kinds of colors, and you will be entranced by them. Mysteriously, the trees jostling with each other will sound like people talking together. The principle can be found in the natural environment rather than in other places. I truly love nature. I used to go to the mountains and just enjoy nature while sitting on the grass. Sometimes I would fall asleep leaning against a large tree with nature all around. I picked wild vegetables and ate them. These were unforgettable experiences. I believe that nature provided me with the fundamental materials that facilitated my emotional growth. When I observed the trees in the mountains and by the streams, although they were all trees, no two looked the same. That made a deep impression on me. Nature is a museum containing all kinds of materials that each of us can find memorable. I knew all the migrating birds that came to my village. Once I saw a flock of migrating birds that I had never seen before. They were so colorful and beautiful. I wondered where these birds would hatch their eggs, since they had migrated away and returned after having their young. I also wondered why they came to my neighborhood. I thought it had to be one of two reasons, either for water or to nest. Birds drink water, but they want good water. So I looked for a good source of water and found a spring. I thought to myself that they would come there for water. So I went to that spring every day and waited for the birds to come. I waited for about 2 weeks. Then indeed they came. Birds are truly fascinating creatures. There was a brook in my hometown. I caught many kinds of freshwater fish that were living there, including mudfish and eels. I thought if I had a large pond at my house, I would bring them home and put them in it. These days, it is relatively easy for people to have a pond at home and to raise fish. How wonderful it would have been if I could have done that. We simply could not do it back then. But still young and not knowing any better, I simply dug a water hole and put some fish in it. I thought that fish could live in any kind of water, but after keeping them there overnight, the next morning I discovered they had all died. Without knowing that they needed certain conditions in order to live, I sadly said, I invested all of my sincerity so you could live. Why did you die? Looking at those dead fish, I said, oh, your mom will cry over your death. I will cry for you too. There alone, I cried for the fish. From this, you can tell that I am a caring person. I was a champion at catching eels. The sea was about 8 kilometers from my home, and I could travel there and back faster than most people. When I was young, my nickname was Tiny Eyes. Rumors spread that Tiny Eyes catches dozens of eels every day and steams them. Then he even feeds them to the pigs and cows. Villagers who heard the rumors came to my house and talked about eels. Then, after telling my mother to prepare to cook eels, I would run out to catch them. By mealtime, I was back with the eels I had caught, and my mother would serve them to the visitors, either stewed or steamed, whichever way they preferred. They could eat as much as they desired, enjoying eel to their heart's content. Reading is finished for today. Thank you.
Thank you, Cheryl. That was wonderful. I spent a lot of time in nature when I was young, so I could really relate to that. Now I'd like to invite up a wonderful sister here in Barbados. We're both Americans, and we had a blessing of being able to live in New York, near the Belvedere Estate and also East Garden. So Gail would like to share some of her experiences with True Father, because I know many of you never had the opportunity to see Father as often as we have. So please welcome Gail.
Hi, everybody. I'm so nervous because I feel like Father's gonna listen to me. These are all my memories I spent with Father, so I feel like he's gonna be listening, so I'm nervous. Anyway, here goes. I'd like to say that I was the most loved sister in the front row at Belvedere, but I would make the other sisters jealous, and rightly so. Everyone wanted to have eye contact, to be touched, hit, or spoken to by the only true man who is now walking the earth. Because I have had so many deep, smiling eye contact moments, I will list only the top ones here. Every Sunday at 5 o'clock in the morning, Father would speak at the training center at Belvedere. The gates would open at 4 a.m., at which point brothers and sisters alike would race down the estate driveway into the training center. And as quickly as we could, we would go skidding like ducks into the front row at the edge of the platform where Father would be speaking. It would be there that you could get the most attention from him. Why so desperate? It was the first time for any of us to feel true love from a true man who was not only the Messiah, the King of Kings and Lord of Lords, but also he was our dad, grandfather, husband, uncle, brother, friend, and son. He was worth any bit of suffering or sacrifice that we had experienced the week before. He just made it all worthwhile, and how we loved him. I confidently showed my adoration, and his colorful response just spurred me on. He was hysterically funny, animated, and unpredictable. You can see in the picture that I'm sitting quite close to Father. That is the 40-day Foreign Missionaries Workshop. The photo is taken at East Garden. I'm not a fast runner. My husband says that I actually run slower than I walk. Nonetheless, because my mind was so focused on getting to the front row, I was able to fly past all the sisters and even the brothers, literally skidding into the front row like a duck. Mother would often gaze over at me. It's Gary and myself in the front row at Belvedere. Mother would often gaze at me, seeing my girlish devotion, and so very sweetly tilt her head and subtly chuckle. I sensed that she understood my childish, adoring behavior, and she gave me the freedom to react the way I wanted to, with a motherly and understanding heart. With numb bottoms and stiff necks, we sat happily on the floor on those icy New York mornings. One morning, I was looking straight up at Father. My face must have been distorted. Father noticed, and looking down at me, imitated my silly, scrunched up face. We were used to him imitating and teasing us. He was born in the year of the monkey, and monkeys like to tease. I will never forget the first time I saw Father in person. With the help of a Japanese missionary, I had just arrived in New York City and had just escaped from deprogramming and negative relatives who did not understand why I loved this Chinese man so much. It was Father's 60th birthday. I can never forget hearing the driver say he had to stop for snacks and drinks for the true children. Pinch me, somebody, this has to be a dream, I was thinking to myself. For 3 years, I've been fighting for my faith and my Messiah, and now I was about to see true family in person. When I arrived at the Manhattan Center, I could see Father on the stage in all his glory, singing and clowning around, adorned in a Hawaiian lei around his neck. Father was the best entertainer. He had the ability to make the humblest member feel absolutely included in the group. We were all equally valued, equally loved, and equally cherished. Happy tears flowed down my face as I had come to love this man so much. I felt my life had just begun. I was placed in the 40-day workshop for foreign missionaries, which happened to be taking place at that time. As part of that group, I was therefore included in visits to East Garden to meet True Father. In the garden, as shown in the photo, I was able to sit in the front, remarkably close to him. God, my ancestors, and my desperate desire have continuously put me near Father so many times, and I am profoundly grateful. The photo that you're looking at now was when Father came to Barbados. Those are the daughters, the two youngest daughters. I got to sit next to them. And behind me is my Uncle Clayton, who is now in the spirit world. I blessed him and he's liberated and blessed. One morning at East Garden, Father had just finished his speech, and he was slowly making his way up to his room. I stood at the bottom of the stairs, desperate to see him one last time before he left. Noticing me, he stopped, looked at me and said in his Korean accent, "You have a beautiful face." Koreans have a hard time with the F sound. The memory of that special moment got me through many hard times. Another Belvedere morning, I was in my usual spot when Father asked, "What is your name?" "Gail," I said with surprise. Then Father said, "Gail must run as fast as she can for as long as she can until she passes the baton on to her descendant. Then her descendant must run as fast as he can for God's will, and then pass it to his descendant." Wow. Father said my name. The Messiah said my name. The picture you're looking at now says Gail. In the Korean characters, it says Gail, Gail. Signed by Sun Myung Moon, 2005, the 12th month and the 18th day, and Father's signature. Where am I now? Okay, on another occasion, a group of us were invited upstairs at East Garden to see him. The group of Americans were asked to sing, but nobody could decide which song. Finally, I took the lead and spontaneously had everyone follow me, singing a kid's song that I had learned at my child's kindergarten the week before. Well, Father laughed heartily as I tried to lead the words and melody on the spot, ad lib. With my awkwardness, I had made the Messiah laugh. I made him happy. The moment I had become the subject of his happiness. Another favorite memory was at the end of a Belvedere speech. Usually after the end, we would give 3 chairs of Monse, and then true parents would leave. This time, as they started walking out, I noticed Father's shiny shoes had stopped right in front of me. Slowly, I lifted my head to see what he was doing. With a beaming smile, he reached out and pinched my cheek, all the while moving it back and forth. Change it. So he pinched my cheek and moved it back and forth. Mother gave her usual smile with her usual subtle, elegant chuckle. She was always so graceful and elegant and had a way of turning her head like a graceful queen. In this photograph, the reason why everyone is laughing is because Father's asking the 2nd generation boy, "Why you have a beard?" "Father doesn't have a beard." Okay. The first time, I'm almost done here. I can only tell you half of these things. I'll tell you the next half next time. The first time I took my first baby, Brian, to Belvedere, we were standing outside waiting for true parents to exit their car. To my surprise, Mother made a beeline over to see my baby. She held my baby's foot and smiled lovingly into his face. The sister next to me wanted to know why mother had paid so much attention to my baby and not to hers. I imagine mother was surprised to see that this greedy for love young girl, Gail, who had been noticeably pregnant in the front row, finally had grown up and now had a baby of her own. And she was curious to see him for herself. Change. Besides, Brian was also an extremely cute, exceptionally fat baby. Bring it back to me now. And I'm going to end with this last memory. You can end the sharing. Another highlight would be the day when True Father matched me to my husband, Gary. I just remember Father pulling Gary towards me and then pushing us onward so he could match the next couple. At one point, he told us that 80% of you don't like who I matched you to. However, the time will come, 40 years from now, when you will be digging gold out of your spouse that you never even knew was there. Looking back, I realize that has surely come true for me. Gary has shown amazing qualities that my own character was very much in need of. Next time, I'll tell you the other memories. Thank you, everyone, for listening.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Gail. We had, as you said, we had many opportunities to see your parents. Many of the other members never had that opportunity, so we hope we can share a lot of our experiences about their character in the church, so you can enjoy it and feel closer to them as well. Thank you.
Oh, you have to. Okay.
Here you go. Oh. Oops.
Now we have to.
Okay. So thank you, everyone, again. So let's take a moment now to have a Houston prayer.
기도하리라 아버님 기다리는 전심원에서 나 이제 기도하리라 아버님 반겨주시는 이곳에서 나 이제 어머님 눈물 흘리신 이곳에서 나 이제 기도하리라 어머님 안아주시는 이곳에서 나의 부족했던 지난 날을 이제 눈물로써 회개하오니 나의 부족함을 용서하시고 감사하고 감사주 나의 부족했던 지난 날을 이제 눈물로써 회개하오니 나의 부족함을
참 사랑으로
Jude. Amen. I'd like to thank Brian for translating this morning. As always, we speak very fast, so give him a bit of a workout. So thank everyone for joining us today, especially those who have come for the first time. Please come back again every day. So thank you very much. And also please join us tomorrow. We'll be having a special commemorative service for Father's son-in-law. It's been 11 years now. So thank you very much. Have a great day, a great week, great month, and see you tomorrow. Bye. All right.
Muchas gracias. Mañana tendremos la celebración del 11º aniversario del Padre Verdadero en nuestro Jundoqué. Por favor, inviten a toda la Sagrada Comunidad de Jano el Pumorín. Muchísimas gracias, bendiciones. Nos vemos mañana. Gracias, señora Masako, Cheryl, todos. Gracias.
Buenos días a todos. Buenos días. Buenos días, Panamá, Costa Rica, República Dominicana. Buenos días.
Hey, Masako. Hi, Cheryl. Gil and
Hey,
Gary.
Cheryl.
Morning.
Buenos días, Sara Grill.
Morning.
Buenos días, Sara Pete. Buenos días, señora.
Next time I'm going to share more happy memories, 2 more pages of memories. They're so much fun and everybody can feel Father's love.
Yes, thank you. I want to listen, Mrs. Gay. Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Very funny.
Buenos días,
Morning,
Sarana.
Cheryl.
Very
Buenos días,
lucky.
Sara
Thank you.
Mario.
I'm too
We love
lucky.
you.
Buenos días, familia Laura.
Buenos días, Panamá.
Buenos días.
Buenos días, Eliasa. Buenos días, Sakata. Buenos días, Sarayoko. Teresa, buenos días.
Buenos días, señora Nayide.
Buenos días, señora Shirley.
Buenos días, señora Joelma.
Buenos días, Eliasa. Buenos días, Brache. Buenos días, señor Domingo.
Thank you, Brian.
Gracias, Brian. Lo hizo muy bien.
Have a great day, bro.
Hi, Remy, Choco-san.
Buenos días, todos, todas.
Yoko-san.
Señor Jorge. Buenos días, Dujani.
Buenos días, Anita.
Thank you, Sharon. Thank you, Gary. Thank you, Gary.
Gracias.
Hi, Reverend Phil.
Have a great day. Talk to you later.
Buenos días, Mario.
Buenos días a todos.
Hey, Patricia.
Bendiciones.
Morning.
Gran mensaje de Gail.
Good morning, everyone. Good
Un abrazo
morning.
cariñoso.
Good morning, Patricia.
Buenos
Hey,
días,
morning,
Cheryl.
everybody.
Hi, Cheryl.
Hey.
Hello,
Have a
Sharon.
good day.
Hey,
Cheryl 1, Cheryl 2.
Cheryl 1, Cheryl 2.
Yes. Have a good day.
Thank you. Goodbye. Have a
Bye,
good day.
everybody. See you
사랑합니다.
too.
감사합니다.
Hasta luego.
Buenos días. Ohayo gozaimasu.
Gracias, señora Exilco.
Muchas
사랑합니다.
gracias.
Gracias, señora
Hasta
Masako.
mañana.
Hey, Masako.
Mañana. Gracias. No olviden que mañana celebraremos el 11º aniversario